Deep inside the highly secured halls of the Pentagon, a completely new kind of silent war rages.
This conflict does not rely on traditional bullets, and it does not utilize any conventional bombs. It is fought only with invisible waves, flowing through the air, bending the spectrum of reality itself.
This is America's new invisible shield, the hidden force that can blind an enemy.
It can also shut down an entire advancing army, all without ever physically being seen by them.
In a world where Russia and China rewrite the rules of electronic warfare, the United States prepares.
The nation is now preparing for the next phase, a critical battle for the electromagnetic spectrum.
Tonight, we are stepping deep inside of that complex, highly classified, and completely unseen technological world.
This is the hidden realm where invisible signals decide the fate of nations, and where America's classified projects
are fundamentally and permanently rewriting the rules of engagement for all of modern electronic warfare.
The very definition of war, as we have always known it, is fundamentally and rapidly changing.
During the 20th century, military dominance meant superior tanks, faster aircraft, and powerful nuclear deterrence.
But in the 21st century, true power lies in control of the invisible, the electromagnetic spectrum.
Every single radar ping, every GPS signal, and every drone transmission, they all rely on these frequencies.
The simple fact is that whoever controls those specific frequencies ultimately controls the entire modern battlefield.
Electronic warfare, or EW, is the complex art of manipulating that crucial, invisible, electromagnetic spectrum.
The primary objective is often not about physically destroying the enemy forces with conventional, kinetic weapons.
Instead, the true strategic goal of electronic warfare is simply about blinding the enemy completely.
This means jamming his eyes, deafening his ears, and confusing his brain, all before he even knows.
That his systems and his personnel are currently under a sophisticated, non-kinetic, and direct attack.
In this invisible war, America has built a shield and a sword, one designed not to be seen.
But its powerful effects on the adversary's technology and communications are always, undeniably, felt.
The roots of America's electronic warfare dominance trace all the way back to the conflicts of World War II.
When Allied scientists discovered that radio signals could deceive radar, mislead pilots, and mask naval fleets. During the long, tense decades of the Cold War, this specialized knowledge evolved into a military obsession.
From the dense skies above Vietnam to the vast, open deserts of Iraq, the U.S. military refined
its advanced tactical ability to jam, spoof, and ultimately control all of the contested airwaves.
But by the time the early 2000s arrived, something in the global strategic balance had changed.
Major global competitors, specifically Russia and China, began to rapidly catch up to America's capabilities.
They diligently studied U.S. operations, built effective countermeasures, and developed their own next-generation EW systems.
These new systems were capable of jamming satellites, disabling incoming missiles, and blinding entire naval fleets. It was a major wake-up call, a clear signal to Washington that the old ways were not enough. The Pentagon realized it needed far more than just advanced aircraft and heavy armor to win. It needed an invisible defense system, one capable of surviving the chaos of modern electronic war.
Enter the solution, the next-generation jammer, a sophisticated piece of technology also known as the NGJ.
Developed by Raytheon, integrated into the Navy's EA-18G Growler, the NGJ is a vital new component.
It represents the beating heart of America's newest and most advanced electronic warfare doctrine.
Unlike older jamming pods that used analog technology, the NGJ is digital, agile, intelligent.
It can actively detect, analyze, and then attack enemy signals across a vast range of frequencies.
All of this complex processing and engagement happens instantly, occurring in real time during the mission.
Imagine a friendly fighter jet flying deep into hostile enemy territory, with radar locked and missiles tracking.
With just a single flick of a switch, the NGJ floods the spectrum with deceptive signals.
To the enemy's radar systems, the Allied fighter jet simply disappears completely from their tracking screens.
To their incoming missiles, the single aircraft splits into 10 or more false, illusory targets.
And for their command centers, the entire digital battlefield display simply turns to overwhelming, useless static.
This is precisely what modern 21st century warfare looks like when electronic systems are properly deployed. It is an enemy rendered completely blind and deaf before the first kinetic shot is even fired. But the next generation jammer is just one single part of America's vast, invisible electronic arsenal.
Another equally important system is preparing to take this unseen war deeper into the digital age.
High above the clouds, a large, silent, and unassuming aircraft circles the chaotic battlefield far below.
It carries no bombs. It only has antennas, processors, and the ability to shut down an enemy's mind.
This specialized aircraft is the EC-130H Compass Call, a unique U.S. Air Force strategic platform. It was designed and built not to physically destroy the enemy, but to disrupt their operations.
In simple terms, the Compass Call platform is effectively America's primary high-altitude airborne hacker.
Its singular, specialized mission is to intercept, analyze, and ultimately counter enemy transmissions and systems.
The first step in this process is to intercept all of the adversary's critical communications.
The next step is to actively jam the enemy's vital command and control signals.
And finally, dismantle enemy coordination, piece by piece, until the entire battlefield falls completely silent.
In Syria, Iraq, and across the Middle East, Compass Call aircraft have played a hidden, crucial role.
They focused on cutting off hostile communications, disorienting enemy drone attacks, and protecting U.S. forces. All of this was accomplished without ever revealing their own presence to the enemy combatants below.
The next version, designated the EC-37B Compass Call, will be even more formidable than its predecessor.
Built on the modern Gulfstream G550 airframe, it's faster, stealthier, and equipped with AI-driven systems. These new intelligent jamming systems are capable of adapting to new threats entirely mid-battle.
This new aircraft is not just a simple jammer. It is a true digital predator.
But the future of this invisible, electronic warfare will not be controlled by human operators alone. It will be guided, and perhaps one day completely dominated, by advanced artificial intelligence systems.
Project Maven was born in the depths of the Pentagon's algorithmic warfare cross-functional team.
This single project represents a massive, seismic shift in modern American military thinking and doctrine.
By feeding thousands of hours of drone footage, radar data, and intercepts into new AI systems,
the Pentagon is actively training algorithms to detect, classify, and counter all enemy signals.
This entire process must happen at the incredible, blistering pace that is known as machine speed.
In a future battle where mere seconds decide survival, the ability to jam, spoof, or strike must be faster than a human brain can react. This speed will define victory. America's powerful and complex invisible shield is no longer just a collection of advanced machines.
It is becoming a living system, one that sees, thinks, and fights in the invisible spectrum.
And in part 2 of our report, we'll venture even deeper into this classified, unseen world.
We will explore autonomous jammers, quantum radar, and space-based EW systems, changing warfare forever. In Part 1, we uncovered the foundations of America's rapidly evolving invisible shield. We explored the next-generation jammer and Project Maven's advanced, self-learning machine intelligence. But as we discovered, all of that remarkable technology was really just the beginning of the story. Now, we journey into the classified future, a realm where satellites duel in complete, total silence. This is a place where algorithms wage complex wars much faster than human thought.
It is a frontier where the very physics of reality are being turned into new weapons. This is Part 2, exploring the amazing future frontiers of America's ongoing, escalating, invisible war. The next great battlefield isn't on land, or on the sea, or even in the air.
The final, ultimate, and most decisive theater of operations for this conflict is in space. Thousands of critical satellites orbit the Earth, relaying military data and guiding advanced, precision missiles.
They are providing vital GPS data for every soldier, every ship, and every aircraft.
But all of these incredibly expensive and sophisticated satellite assets are also extremely vulnerable to attack. A single, well-placed, and precisely timed electronic attack could potentially blind an entire nation's military.
To protect these assets, the U.S. Space Force, America's newest branch, has taken command.
Their new, primary mission is the complex and constant challenge of active orbital electronic defense.
Using advanced EW satellites and new ground-based systems like Meadowland and Banshee. The Pentagon can detect, jam, and hijack hostile transmissions across the vast void of space.
It is a new form of silent warfare, fought in the cold vacuum high above our heads. This is a place where a single burst of interference can mean total victory or chaos.
Competitors like Russia and China have already tested their own advanced anti-satellite ASAT weapon systems.
So what is America's specific and strategic response to this emerging and very serious threat?
Electronic guardians, orbiting shields designed to disrupt, deceive, and defend without ever firing a single shot.
In this new, invisible arena, the rule is simple. As the spectrum becomes saturated, the Pentagon is looking toward a new kind of weapon system.
This new technology is one born directly from the strange, counterintuitive laws of quantum physics. The first of these revolutionary new technologies to emerge from the laboratories is quantum radar. The second revolutionary field that is being developed is perfectly secure, unhackable quantum communication.
And finally, the third emerging technology is the development of incredibly precise quantum-level sensors.
These new systems aren't science fiction. They are prototypes already being tested in secret laboratories.
We know that traditional, conventional radar can be jammed, it can be spoofed, or it can be blinded.
Quantum radar, however, uses entangled photons, which are particles that can't be fooled or intercepted. It's a complete revolution in detection, a fundamental shift in the science of finding hidden objects. It is a technology capable of tracking stealth aircraft and hypersonic missiles with impossible precision. At the exact same time, quantum encryption promises a new era of completely unbreakable digital communication. This creates a true digital fortress that absolutely no hacker or adversary can ever breach.
For the United States military, mastering quantum technology means far more than just national survival. It means ensuring total and complete dominance in this highly contested and invisible technological realm. Artificial intelligence has already changed how the Pentagon wages war and fights its modern battles. But the technology that is coming next may completely redefine the very word command. Imagine autonomous jamming drones patrolling active war zones, scanning the area for enemy radar signals.
They would be deciding targets and deploying countermeasures, all without any direct human approval.
In 2028, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, began a new integration program.
This program started integrating new AI decision loops directly into advanced electronic warfare pods.
These smart jammers can instantly analyze hostile frequencies and decide the best corresponding attack pattern.
The system can then execute that attack much faster than any human operator ever could.
Some officials and military leaders look at this development, and they simply call it progress. Others, however, including many analysts and ethicists, look at the same technology and call it danger. Because once AI begins making its own decisions in the spectrum, a single, tiny miscalculation, that small error could potentially spark a massive, catastrophic, and completely unintended regional war.
Still, the Pentagon leadership currently believes this calculated risk is worth the decisive technological edge.
With projects like the Autonomous Spectrum Dominance Initiative, the U.S. is developing a new system. It is a self-learning EW ecosystem, a web of drones, aircraft, and orbiting satellites. All of these nodes are thinking and communicating together at the incredible speed of light.
According to defense planners, this is not just some distant, hypothetical future of modern warfare.
It is warfare happening right now. It is invisible, it is intelligent, and it is unstoppable.
In all of modern conflict, the two domains of electronic warfare and cyber warfare have merged. A powerful, directed jamming signal can now carry a secondary payload consisting of malicious computer code. This infects enemy systems through the very same waves that were meant to jam them. Fusion, known as Cyber Electromagnetic Activity, or CEMA, is becoming the Pentagon's new warfighting doctrine.
Take the U.S. Army's I2C EW units: intelligence, information, cyber, electronic warfare, and space.
These new, highly specialized teams combine hackers, signal experts, and AI analysts into one strike team. When deployed, these teams can jam an enemy's radar and also intercept its vital communications.
They simultaneously inject viruses into its command networks, achieving all of this within mere seconds.
The ultimate, overarching strategic goal for these CEMA operations isn't just simple technological disruption.
It's total domination of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, the digital bloodstream of all modern war.
For the first time in history, America is building a military that can literally hack the air itself. The Pentagon officially calls this new doctrine Joint Electromagnetic Spectrum Operations, or JEMSO. It is a doctrine that unites air, land, sea, space, and cyber under one invisible umbrella.
Every single modern jet, ship, and tank is now a networked part of that grid.
They are all talking, sensing, defending, and deceiving the enemy in perfect digital harmony.
This networked integration represents America's ultimate strategic goal, which is known as full-spectrum dominance. But behind all the impressive steel and the silicon, there lies a single, haunting truth. In the pursuit of total control, the line between peace and provocation grows thinner every single day.
The next Great World War may not begin with a loud, conventional, and obvious explosion.
Instead, it is far more likely that it might just start with a sudden, deafening silence. This silence could manifest itself as a widespread, cascading, and instantaneous communications blackout.
It could be a complete and total loss of all GPS signals across the entire continent.
Or it could be a critical air defense radar screen that suddenly, inexplicably, goes dark.
And somewhere, deep beneath the Pentagon, in a room filled with screens and digital static,
a single operator will turn and whisper those fateful, dreaded words. They've jammed us.
America's powerful invisible shield is both its greatest, most advanced weapon and its greatest gamble. This is because the more powerful it becomes, the more invisible the war itself ultimately grows.
We, as a public, may never actually see the first shots fired in the next conflict.
But we will all certainly feel their immediate effects in the widespread digital silence that follows.
This is the unassailable and frightening reality of all 21st century modern electronic warfare. It is a new kind of war, fought not in the open, but in the spectrum.
This is a war that remains entirely unseen by the human eye and completely unheard.
And yet, despite its invisibility, its devastating consequences will be undeniably and immediately real.